Greetings, I'm Chris Holshouser with BlueForge Alliance. I'm the Managing Director for Technology Development, and I'm here with Joe Calmese from ADDMAN. Joe, do you mind telling us about yourself, your title, and your company, and what you do?
Sure, yeah. Joe Calmese, CEO of ADDMAN. We are a contract manufacturing company, a full service contract manufacturer. We have 4 modalities of manufacturing. So metal additive manufacturing, polymer additive manufacturing, CNC machining, and injection molding, all in the United States, 7 locations spread over the entire country.
And I know you've been growing your capability, you listed your 4 pillars. What was the strategic decision to go into metal additive specifically?
Yeah, great question. And so our company is built on the team of manufacturing experts. And when we looked at the manufacturing landscape that we wanted to participate in particular some of our defense customers, we really thought about it as a product life cycle. We wanted it to be really important to our customers across their product life cycle. And one of the areas that they needed help with was supply chain resiliency and alternative manufacturing. And so metal additive became an important part of our sort of equation to help solve their problems quickly.
I know you've been supplying a lot of services to several DoD entities, defense contractors and whatnot. What really pushed you into starting to support, or what opportunity did you see specifically with the Navy?
Yeah. I think if you look at many of the industry studies, a lot of the defense, maybe their warnings in terms of fleet readiness and our country's ability to respond to the kind of constant threat that we see. It's something that I think speaks to us both as a business, but then as Americans, as something that becomes really important to support over generations to come. And so when we think about some of the applications in aerospace, they've been developed for maybe a couple decades now. And then as we think about our friends in the Navy, we think taking our knowledge that has been really kind of tested and trued on some of the other DoD applications and bringing those into the Navy as something that could accelerate the adoption of additive within the Navy and make for a stronger country.
ADDMAN, you're one of the first suppliers that we've qualified against the tech pubs for the Navy. What was that process like for you? What was that journey? I know the Navy's been, I would say, a little bit unique compared to the other DoD entities. Can you just share, what that was like?
Sure. Yeah. Just in kind of broad terms, the qualification for the Navy, it's a little different because of where the Navy has been on the additive journey, right? So starting later means some of the specifications and qualifications are there's a little less detail to them that we have to work with. And I think I think your group, the naval customer, our team did a really good job of understanding the specific ask. Being able to respond to the very specific questions. And it's not all that dissimilar from what we see in other parts of our business where customers, they know they need something, they've come to us with a problem to solve, and our job is to really understand what their intent is and then sort of translate that into what we can do from a manufacturing perspective.
Right. And that's one of the great things that's been working with ADDMAN. It's clear you have a lot of experience in other areas, and sometimes the ability to translate that is really key, and I think it's allowed us to really accelerate. BlueForge is uniquely positioned as this integrator. It's a non-for-profit. It's kind of a unique approach. I think it's allowed us to be very agile and be very quick. What has that relationship been like to help support ADDMAN and get you integrated into the naval side?
I think agility is the key word there. And so when you think about what your organization can do, part of the challenge with any large company, the Navy in one case and other companies, is decision makings and clarity on the mission and the vision. And what you all have been able to do as a kind of a trusted advisor almost is help us navigate the waters, no pun intended, on how to get to, again, the intent, the design intent. When we go through material qualifications, go through process qualification, there's a lot of interpretations, even though it's written in black and white. And having you all that have been through it, that have helped other companies help us and guide us, and we all sort of learn from each other, it's really been invaluable, something that we're really thankful for.
I think the other unique part about ADDMAN is you're qualified to start making parts, but we're also using you to help us create our specifications. So we call it a double qual. In addition to that, what can the Navy or BlueForge or anyone listening in, what can we do to help you even go faster? I mean, you talked about we have an immediate need, there's urgency behind this. What would you think would be a good ask or request that we can help you, continue to grow and do more?
It's actually my favorite question to answer because it gets asked in many different ways. But my answer, I think, is exactly the same, which is there's this great chicken or egg problem within most of metal additive in particular, which is, does the program come first or does the capacity to produce the program come first? And this sort of problem, we as an industry, we've got all the brightest people in the entire world working on this sort of challenge. And so what I think what can happen is we can look at additive for what the technology demonstrates, which is delayed differentiation. We don't need to know what the final shape of the part is to invest in the platform and in the volumes and the capacity that we need. And so what we all need to do is start to take full advantage of what metal additive can do. We got to think about the process differently. In the traditional manufacturing, which we're involved in, you make a design and then you release that design to manufacturing, you redesign it based around optimal manufacturing, and you go. In this case, we can actually invest in the manufacturing platform before the design is done, and that will give us the allowables that the programs can fit within, and that'll make us faster on the program development. So I would say see through the specific application into the broader terms and help us make the investment choice so we can get the capacity, because it's ultimately the holdup in getting faster within the programs.
And that's so interesting, and that's why I've really loved engaging with ADDMAN, kind of that clarity of thought and that thought process, and it's just been great. I'm really looking forward to continuing this relationship. I appreciate your time, Joe. Really great perspectives, and started something great.
Yeah, great.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for the time.